So think about like what you're gonna get me. She was like, oh, okay. So then, dude, it hurt only because only because she didn't go down and do it. It was more like on top of the skin, and then she was going over it. And I'm like, no, you have to go down. I'm like, this is starting to really hurt because she was just destroying my hand. But hey, it's on there. Like that's easily like my favorite one for sure, 100%.
Well, it was obviously a clean needle. There was
Oh yeah, 100%.
There was a friend of mine in college. For whatever reason, he was somewhere, and someone convinced him that they were going to give him a tattoo, but they were doing it on his butt, and they wrote Cyphus, whatever that means, but it was a dirty needle too, and the thing was so infected after he did it, dude. It was so bad.
Oh, I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, it was. I don't want to say too graphic of what it looked like, but dude, it was not good.
No, I have never had any like infected tattoos. I mean, like, but I do have. I don't know. I have like 4 or 5 like homemade ones. But
homemade?
Yeah, dude. Like it's like a stick and poke.
No way. Let's see one. Do you have an example on your arm or something?
If I could pull out my ankle. I don't know if I can see it. It's a little baseball.
No. Isn't stick and poke hard to do?
Dude, that sucks.
So what is it? Literally like just stab and just keep stabbing away?
Yep, did it with a needle, pen ink, and just
How long did that take?
I don't know, man. I was hammered, so I don't really know. But I felt like forever.
Oh my gosh, it's too funny. So, okay, so I forgot to ask earlier about the speech therapist. Like, how did they end up like treating all that? Like, how did they? Were they taking through words or what?
Yeah, it's just like a slow process, like through it. Like, so you just like, I mean, like for me, like it's mainly like the beginning of words. So that's like what we would like do.
Wow.
So yeah.
Okay, so sorry, I just got that. I thought about it and I had to say it.
You're good.
So I know you told me you have like one of one like clothing items from Loaded Bases. Are you ever gonna think about bringing out a like clothing shop?
Yep, 100%. That is in the works, actually.
Really? Because
yes, sir.
Routine Baseball. Ever heard of that brand?
Yes, they actually like the very beginning of me doing a podcast. They would send me a shirt once a month, and then like all that I would have to do is just like talk about them.
Whoa! How'd you get that sponsorship?
I sent them a DM. That's it. Dude, I'm telling you, you just gotta shoot your shot.
Well, I do, but what's it? And I get responses. But what is a typical DM for you? Like, how do you?
Okay,
is it quick, short?
Let me find quick to the point. Let me find my most recent one.
Okay.
Okay. Here's my most recent one. Yo, do you want to be a guest on my podcast? I host a podcast that's baseball related, but we would talk about your journey and whatever you want to address on there. Let me know if you have any questions. That's it.
That's easy.
Yep. Straight to the point.
That's awesome. So you don't even give it into because I give it a little introduction on myself too.
Oh, I do that like once they're in, and then I'm like, hey, I'm sending you like a background on me. So, and it was just like just about like my baseball background because people like the baseball industry want to like they want to know that like you played baseball.
Yeah.
So, and then I talk about that, how that ended, and then why I started my podcast. And then that's pretty much yeah.
Okay, so we talked about your top guest. Was there a guest that when you were doing it, you were like, "This sucks"? Because I know you, like I said, I know you just wing it with questions, and you have one. So like, was there ever like a conversation where it just sucked?
I have only had, I think, like, honestly, I don't think I have.
Wow.
I try and like come up with stuff like on the spot, but I don't know, like I feel like I'm pretty like decent at it.
Okay.
But I mean, I also okay, like I will always invite my guests to like grab a beer or like a drink or whatever. So
hmm
like so it's a conversation that you're having like with a buddy, like just like hanging out.
That's cool. That's pretty cool.
So it's like a laid back conversation, like rather than like question to question to question to question, because then it's like an interview.
Right, and that's what I'm trying to beat. So that's why I was curious on how you did that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just like, I mean, like, I'm saying, because you want them to feel comfortable, because
100%.
then, yeah, I mean, like, people like to talk about themselves. That's just like a
Mhm.
natural human thing.
Right.
So then, like, if you create a environment where, like, where people can, like be themselves, do the possibility is endless. Like,
Wow.
you can get, like, anything, like, out of people.
Well, see, okay, that's pretty cool. So you're from Washington, the state Washington.
Yep.
Is
Washington
it?
State.
Okay, are you in? You're not near Seattle though.
No, not like 2 hours away.
Okay, because I
Yeah.
mentioned
2 hours
I said
east.
okay because I said Seattle.
That's the same
When
thing.
yeah, I said the only reason why I said is because I feel like when I'm like because I feel like when you say Washington around my area, everyone's thinking about Washington D.C. instead of
Oh
the state.
yeah, I will always say Washington State. It's just like a thing, like to talk to people, like because I
Yeah,
used to live in Florida,
yeah.
and then like when I would say, I said, oh yeah, like I'm from Washington. They're like Washington D.C. I'm like no, like Washington State. They're like oh Seattle. I'm like no, I live in Yakima. And then they're like oh yeah, like it rains all the time. I'm like it rains like 4 times a year here, and then it snows. And it gets to 110 degrees in the summertime. It's just like, I'm like, no one knows like this side of Washington State.
It's a very bipolar climate. It sounds like it's
Dude,
off and
that's what
on.
I'm saying. Dude, like we have all 4 seasons here. It's super nice. I mean, I hate snow, but
No, yeah,
I have no choice.
I remember we talked about that. But don't do you want to move? You said.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, but
Okay.
I mean, this is home, so it's kind of like, I mean, I like to travel more
hmm
than I mean, like the whole thing, like to move, moving down to Florida for a year, do like that was fun for sure. But it's not home. It was like a vacation, like a year-long vacation.
Wasn't that scary to do?
Uh, I think I realized I was like kind of nervous halfway there in my car, but
Oh, you drove. You drove.
yeah, dude, like I packed up my Camaro like at the time, and that's what I had everything in. And yeah, no, it was well no like because I have family like down near like Miami. So
hmm
I mean like I've been there like multiple times.
Right.
But yeah, no, like my boss at the time was like, hey Mason, do you uh, do you want to transfer to Phoenix, like Arizona with me? And I'm like, no, not really. And then, and I was like, you know what? Like, I was like, what other places like are there to go? And then it
hmm
said like Fort Lauderdale, and I was like, I was just there like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. So then I called their supervisor like down there, and then I was like, hey, like this is like what I make now. Can you match it? And they're like, yeah. So I was like, all right, well then, and then I put in my transfer. I found a place to stay and live, and I did all of that, and I did it within about 24 hours. And then then I go home, and I was like, hey everyone, I'm moving to Florida. They're like, what? I'm like, I'm out. Like, I mean, like I'm gonna move down there. And they're like, okay, like when do you leave? I'm like, well, I leave in a week. And they're like, what the fuck? And boom, Florida it is.
That's insane, dude. I feel like people think about doing that, but no one actually goes through with it.
Oh, I do it. Let's see. I have actually bought a one-way plane ticket to Maui one day. Just because I'm like, you know what, screw it. Like I want to be homeless on a beach, so I bought a one-way plane ticket to Maui, and then my mom was like, okay, so what are you gonna do? Like, I mean, like for housing. I'm like, I can live on a beach, like I can do that. And then she's like, okay, like what about like school and like all that? I'm like, well, I can do online and I can do it. I can use like Wi-Fi at like Starbucks. And she's like, whatever. So I bought a one-way plane ticket, but I never went.
You never went?
Unfortunately, I did not move to Hawaii for a hot minute.
So you lost money on that ticket then?
Yeah, very much
Well,
so.
why didn't you? Is there a reason why you didn't end up going?
Because I really thought about it. I was like, I don't know anyone here. I would be fucked. Like I had like nowhere to stay, like no nothing. But hey,
my friend's sister lives out there. I could she'd probably let you stay for like a day or two maybe.
Yeah, see, a day or two, and then I gotta go to like a new place. But no,
Yeah.
I mean, because now I have friends in Honolulu, and now I mean, like I would be good now. But then, dude, I was like, how was I? I was like 18.
You're right out of high school, dude.
Hell yeah, I was like, I'm out. Like, we're going.
That's too cool. I mean, that says a lot about you. I mean, like that's ballsy, but it's pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, see, that's okay. Like, so that's like the manic stages, like of me being like bipolar. I'm just like up here. I'm like, I can do anything I want, anything. And I was like, I'm gonna move to Hawaii. Like, we're going.
That's freaking nuts. So, well, okay, so now you're at this point in your life. How old are you again?
27.
27, that's right. So, okay, so what is the next big goal for you then in any aspect of life now?
Let's see. Make it to Thursday.
Make it a Thursday?
But honestly, I have no idea. I mean like I'm never content. Like so that's why like I'm like always like working like on stuff, but there's really no like end goal, so it's kind of like I don't know. We'll see what happens.
You're just nonchalant. You're like, whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, like, but if a opportunity like does come up, I mean, look, then I'm gonna go like full speed towards it.
Wholeheartedly. Where is like the craziest place you've been then? In traveling.
The craziest place?
Yeah.
I have been. When I was like 12. We went to Chinatown in New York City, and my grandma and we went behind a wall that pulled open, and then we got like pushed in there, and then this dude was trying to like sell us fake purses. That was wild as shit. But
I'm not shocked by that. I heard about that. Yeah.
The wildest place I've ever been. Honestly, probably Florida. Living in Florida during spring break, that was wild.
Oh, that was probably a fun time.
Oh, dude, I'll go to work, get off work, and walk to the beach, and it was just like wild. But it was fun.
Do you stay in contact with anyone still from Florida?
A few people. I think like 3 or 4, but nothing too big. Yeah.
That's so funny. When I was when talking about the fake purses, when I was I was a little kid, and I was in Ocean City, Maryland, on the boardwalk.
Yeah.
And my friends at the time were really big into Yu-Gi-Oh and like Pokemon.
Yes, sir.
I mean, Pokemon's cool as shit. I never really fully actually played that with the cards. I just collected them, and same with Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, same thing.
I didn't know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh at all. But, I remember I went to this one store that was on the boardwalk, and my parents got me this nice pack of cards, and I'm going through them, and I was like, these things are insane. Like they're really good. And I come back home from vacation. I'm like, I would go to my neighbor's house at the time, and